Originally, pants consisted of two separate legs that were tied at the waist or attached to other clothing. This is why, in most languages, the words for pants and trousers are plural nouns.
Why didn't men wear pants during the Qin and Han dynasties? Instead, they wore something called the jinyi, which essentially consisted of two short pant legs fastened at the waist. Because it lacked an upper portion, it made going to the restroom much more convenient. To maintain modesty, they would wear long robes over the jinyi, and when in public, they would kneel to avoid flashing other people.
Hi, this is a history of pants. Actually, people called them trousers at first. Then they were pantaloons, and then in the early 1800s, Americans decided they were too lazy to say the whole thing and changed it to pants, horrifying the Europeans. Pants turned up in Central Asia 3,000 years ago. Horse riders figured out, the hard way, it was much more comfortable to ride a horse in trousers than in a robe or a toga where certain important places were underprotected. Like, look at that. You see that face? That's the face of someone who's thankful they had trousers on. Can you imagine doing that in a toga? With nothing in between your legs? Yeah, this guy would not be having kids. I mean, not that he's going to now, but you get my point. These newfangled garments made their way to the Scythians and then to the Persians. Sometime in the 6th century, some Greek geographers spotted Persians wearing trousers. The sighting probably went something like this. Hey, Eurocrates! Yeah, Stocklamus? You seeing this? You seeing what this Persian dude is wearing? Yeah, bro, what are those? Are those things wrapping all the way around his legs? Yeah, I think they are. That's just... Stupid! Look at him! What an idiot! Stupid little Barbaros! You like those, whatever they are. It's like he's wearing a thulikos on each leg. Hey, that's so true. Man's got himself a pair of thulikoi. Yeah, you like your thulikoi, wussy boy? Look at you and your stupid thulikoi. What a loser. Bet wussy boy has never tried out a toga. Yours is looking pretty nice on you, by the way, Eurocrates. Hey, thanks, Philios. You also look really good in your toga. They thought pants looked ridiculous and unmanly and just barbaric in general. This was probably the main reason for the Persian War. When the Romans came, they took after the Greeks and considered pants barbaric. But later on, Roman soldiers snuggled in an adapted form of trousers as they went to war. Their new brachai kept the cold out much better than togas. Trousers popped up in Europe during the Middle Ages. Knights wore them under armor. Some even had the idea to attach foot coverings to them. This style evolved into the jammies your little brother wears to bed. In the 15th century AD, trousers would balloon out from the waist and pinch at the ankles, probably to make your thighs look thick as hell. Thankfully, it seems that by the 19th century, everyone realized this looked ridiculous and stopped wearing balloon pants. Except clowns. Clowns still wear balloon pants. The dude who figured out how to wear pants the way we do now was King Edward VII. A little later, a very childish individual decided to wear the short trousers meant for children, and we realized they were great. That brings us to today. We figured out pants. Wait. What? We have to do the segment. What Oh, wait, can we not? Nope, it's history. It happened. Fine, let's get it over with. Now for a little something we like to call the little mentioned dark sexist side of pants. That's right, we even managed to make misogyny out of pants. Oh my god, please help us. For the longest time, pants were deemed unladylike in Western society, and in places like the US, England, and France, you could actually be arrested for wearing pants in the 18th and 19th centuries. That's right, we made it illegal for women to wear pants because we were scared girls would become wild and destroy families. Like they need pants to do that, am I right, boy? That's not funny. You shouldn't joke about that. It's actually messed up, you know? Women shouldn't have taken that. They really should have voted for someone who would- Oh wait. Some women found a way around these backward laws by just pretending to be men. Many dressed as men and served in the army and navy. One famous example is Hannah Snell, who served in the British Navy in the 18th century. There are also hundreds of documented cases of women serving in the Civil War. The fight to wear pants began with the women's rights movement in the 1850s. For a while, women wore baggy pantaloons with a knee-length skirt. This made life easier because women didn't have to worry about tripping on a long dress and dropping something important like, a baby. However, these weren't popular for long because they ugly. By the 1880s, women were wearing trousers for recreational activities. Wearing trousers was much safer and easier than wearing a long skirt. Try it. Try riding a bike with a dress on. I dare you. In the 1930s, slacks entered the clothing market, but another factor that sped up the normalization of women in pants was World War II, since women serving in uniform would wear trousers, as well as those entering the workforce to replace men fighting in the war. In November 1941, the Picture Post wrote, "You can't fight an incendiary in confidence in clothes that flutter, or sleep decently in a shelter in a skirt." End quote. By the end of the war, a woman wearing pants at home wasn't anything crazy, but it wasn't until 1970 that trousers were considered acceptable women's attire in the US. Even then, there were still unspoken rules about women wearing pants in the Senate. To illustrate how recently this was a thing, Hillary Clinton, you know, the dude who lost to this guy, made history by being the first woman ever to wear pants in her First Lady portrait in 1993. These problems might seem like something from the old days that we can laugh at now, but somehow they're not. Sure, women aren't being arrested or anything for wearing a pair of Levi's, but in many schools around the United States, traditional rules are still in place which forbid girls from wearing pants, even in the winter. One of these such rules was abolished just last year in a school in North Carolina, where winter temperatures can go as low as 27 degrees Fahrenheit, -3 degrees Celsius for you sane people. This is just last year, 2019, before everything, happened. Can you imagine being forced to wear a skirt in the winter? Do you realize what it takes to do that? You have to be Scottish! However, we've come a long way, thankfully, and I'm sure these kinks will iron themselves out eventually. Alright, now we've reached today. Pants are comfortable, practical, and give us a leg up in horse riding, but due to recent events, a radical change in trouser fashion is on the horizon, spreading rapidly across the world. A lot like something else. The change is simple. Instead of wearing pants the way we usually do, we just don't. Pants aren't needed anymore. The world operates on a top-half basis. People are choosing to forgo their jeans and sweatpants in favor of nothing at all. Pants used to be all the rage. Everyone would wear them. In fact, if you were seen outside without pants on, you would most likely be outright shamed and ridiculed, and then arrested for public nudity. Speaking from experience here, we were slaves to trousers, to pants, to pantaloons. In this new age, we are slaves no longer. And although no one sees another person throwing off the burden of our lower halves, collectively, we know what we are wearing below our face cams. Maybe when this is all over, we will emerge from our burrows and realize trousers are no longer needed, and clothing our bottom half is a relic of the past. Or maybe we'll just all stay inside and use Zoom.